here in Globe, Arizona at the 1910 Gila Jail to communicate. Whoa, Jason.
That just turned bright red.
Upstairs. Again, did you hear that? And there it goes. Wow. No, he didn't.
Is someone?
Are you moving? Are you moving?
No.
How long it is to wait?
Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dr. Ghost Hunter's Paranormal Experience 1910 Gila Jail. In this episode, we will carefully scrutinize each and every piece of activity that Jason and I captured during our live stream investigation of the Gila Jail just a couple of months ago. Many of you joined us live for this paranormal investigation. For those of you who did, you're going to be in for a real treat tonight. For those of you who didn't, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications, because we've got a whole lineup this spring coming up of paranormal investigations that we want your help with. But Jason, we certainly had a whole lot of activity going on at the jail. And with this episode, as we scrutinize the evidence, what we're going to be looking for is whether or not this evidence, paranormal, or perhaps something we can scientifically debunk. With that being said, there's number one. I'm joined by Dr. Jason. I'm Dr. Chad. We're your favorite doctors of the paranormal. We are joined by the queens of Dr. Ghost Hunters. We have our DGH skeptic, Jamie, and of course, my lovely wife, Sarah. Ladies, welcome to the show. We will also be joined here during our investigation with some other paranormal groups that have helped us out and guided us on this trip down to Globe. We have AZ Pies. We have Arizona Paranormal Investigation Research Society. That's a mouthful. Yeah. And we also have a viewer submission that we're excited to show you guys as well. In the background, we're going to have Jamie. She's going to be monitoring our investigation for any signs of tampering. Jamie, I think last week you gave Jason a yellow card for his whispering during investigation. Where do we stand with yellow cards for the season here, Jamie?
Just one so far. So Jason, be careful.
You do need to be careful. And if you get two, you're sitting out an investigation.
No, it doesn't get carrot cake.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You, for everyone out there who didn't think that we can mix paranormal and soccer, well, there you go. So Jamie's going to keep track of those. Sarah's going to be monitoring the chat. Should be in for a good time.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who aren't joining live, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one of our investigations or paranormal experiences. Now, make sure to stick around until the end where we disclose the time and date of our next live stream paranormal investigation that's coming up. You don't want to miss that. Now, for those of you who are joining us live, write down your comments, questions, and observations in the chat. Sarah and Jamie will be monitoring those as we go. So definitely, if you have questions or anything you want addressed, note it there.
And for those who are commenting live, we're going to have a lovely little giveaway here at the end of the show. This mug, this Dr. Ghost Hunter's mug, you can only see half of it. The other half happens to be green. But guess what? It doesn't really show up because, believe it or not, the backstage of my office isn't actually painted with our logo. It's a green screen. But nonetheless, you will receive a mug. Not this one. I guess it could be this one if people are into that sort of thing. But nonetheless, we will give one away, and Sarah's going to be looking for a lucky commenter for that. All right. So I think we covered the what, we covered the who. We ready to get into this thing?
Let's do it.
Now, let's sit back and everyone join us as we start to diagnose the paranormal activity at the 1910 Gila Jail. We're standing in front of the 1910 Gila Jail located in Globe, Arizona. Now, Jason, very similar to Tombstone, Globe was founded in 1876 for people coming after silver and copper. The population of Globe exploded, going from 2,000 to over 10,000 within just a few years. However, with this, very similar to other Wild West towns, with stagecoach robberies and, of course, violence around every corner. Globe needed somewhere to put people who committed these crimes.
So originally, they actually had a small jail in the basement of the courthouse, which is connected to this jail. Then in 1910, they built this jail. Now, originally, most of these cells in the tanks, as they're called, were designed for 2 individuals. Now, as more people came into the jail and overcrowding became an issue, they actually reconfigured those cells for 4 people. Quite a bit of overcrowding. This jail's undergone a lot of changes to try and accommodate more of the prisoners. So,
and not necessarily in a good way. Taking away toilets. Of course, there's no heat or air conditioning in there. Even taking away sinks. So not the good type of remodeling there. Jason, up until 1970, all of kind of the overcrowding and mistreatment went under the radar, but then exposed in the 70s. Finally, the place was forced to shut down in 1981. Reports of paranormal activity here are wild and unlike most places that we have seen.
Can you make it turn green? There we go. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Can you stop? Great job. We see it. We see it. That's it. Can you push it? You got the hang of it now. That was awesome, Carl.
Can you make both of them go off?
That's it. Yes.
So we want to thank Arizona PIRS and Arizona PI for their paranormal evidence submissions during their investigations of the jail. Like their loaded investigations, we've got a large amount of evidence to go through, so let's get to it.
Yeah, we certainly do. And those investigation clips that they have, we did not have those prior to going to the jail. And to be honest with everyone, we didn't have much knowledge of the jail prior to signing up. And very much like Tombstone, Jason, you and I wanted to go on a road trip. We wanted to go investigate. And again, a peek behind the curtain of how we ended up booking here. AZPIRS, and we'll put their website down here on the bottom, they have a fantastic setup for investigations. Now, we don't have any, I guess, official association with them, but I love how simple it is to be able to book with them. That's how we ended up getting there. And then we started doing some research into the place and we said, whoa, this is a place that we have to be. But certainly some of their evidence that they captured, I mean, it gave me goosebumps. Now, we want to give everyone a little bit of a layout of what this jail looks like. There are 2 official floors. The back half of the building is where the tanks are, and that's where the cells are. So on the first floor, there are 8 cells. That's what we're going to be seeing on this first clip that we'll show you. There are 7 that towards the end of the jail's existence would house inmates. And then the back left is where they made 1 toilet. Up on the second floor, again, in the back of the jail, is pretty much an exact replica of the first. In the front part of the second floor, there is an isolation chamber, which we'll see on the second part of our investigation. And then there's kind of a semi-third floor that has a bridge and connects over to the, I guess, county building. Is that what it was?
Yeah, courthouse.
To the courthouse. And so really a unique place and a very fun place to investigate. So that's kind of the layout of it. As we get into our first investigation here, we brought out just about all of our bag of tricks that we had. We had our EMF tripwire. You're going to see that. You're going to want to comment on what you think's going on with that one. We had our paralamp, our K2 meter. We had a motion box, which actually Arizona PIRS let us borrow. They create these, and we borrowed one, and it was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to play with some of their instruments. They've got great stuff, so definitely check them out.
Yeah. Yep. We also have our rem-pod set up. So, you know, all the normal gear. Anything else we're missing?
I don't think so.
Let's get into the action. And as we do, and as you see certain events come up here, keep in mind, Jason and I are going to try and diagnose, is it paranormal? Can it be scientifically explained? We want to know what you think as you see each of these things go off in real time. Please feel free to put them in the comments. Even if you're not watching live, comment below. We'll be happy to get back to you.
Yep.
All right, let's get into main investigation 1.
Yep. With that being said, let's go.
You're such a bastard. sounded almost like something upstairs. Did you hear that?
Yeah. God.
There's our first hit.
It's going to orange. Wow, even a red.
Let me stay back here. That's fantastic. Do we have an inmate here with us? If we do have an inmate here, welcome. We're here to make communication with you. We invite you to go up and touch the red light here on the chair.
It's pretty strong.
That K2 is really going.
If there's someone touching this, good job. That's letting us know you're here. I'm going to turn it on and off real quick just to recalibrate. And then I'm going to put it up on the table.
There it goes.
You're doing a good job.
That's incredible.
Wow, you're getting it to red. That's really good. So let's see if you can step away and make it go to just one green. Just step away from it. Almost there. Just, yep, you're doing it. Step back just a little farther.
Wow.
Good job. Now just to verify, can you touch that red light? It works very similar.
It's going to red.
Oh wow. How about this other red light?
Touch the antenna.
Touch the antenna. You see this little metal antenna right there?
Show them how to do it.
Watch, I'll show you with my finger. As it gets nearer, it'll set that off.
That K2 dropped as you got close to it.
You think someone could be in that cell?
Maybe. If you're inside this cell, please make a noise. Right, it was faint, but I heard a click or something down here. Are you able to enter our dimension or have enough strength to give us an audible sign that you're here?
So that will go solid red when you look up.
Upstairs. Again. Did you hear that?
No. So that will go solid red when you look up.
Upstairs. Again. Did you hear that? I'm curious, Jason, if they are inside of that cell, they won't be able to reach.
Do you want me to reposition?
Yeah, why don't you reposition it just right in front of that cell?
Okay, I'm going to change these because we think there might be someone in that cell that can't reach this rem-pod. So we're going to try.
Or even try putting it on the floor, like just right there. Right in front of it. Yeah. And there it goes. Wow. That's exactly what we wanted. Thank you.
Good job.
Can you touch it again? I think they might be inside of this cell. Okay, so other cells that we have here. If there's anyone here in cell, which I believe is 2, if you created these weapons, we have a device sitting on top here. I'd love to see you light that up. You can go over and touch it, or I'd love to see you even try and open up the glass case and get out some of the items there. Can you do that for us? This jail cell is open. The door's open. If we have any spirits through here, we invite you to come with us. Be with us for the night to communicate. Whoa, Jason.
That just turned bright red.
Wow, the entire thing. The entire thing.
Did someone just walk through that door?
I've never seen this tripwire do that. This tripwire, again, is only set off by electromagnetic field fluctuation. If someone just came out of that jail cell as I invited you through there, Please come out here towards the middle. We have some devices here as well. This is back up to red. The activity here is just starting off with a bang. We invite you please to go up and touch the antenna on the red light, or please make a sound here, give us a sign of your presence. I mean, this still has not changed back.
Should I restart it?
I think we should. I mean, it's not that it's flickering, it's just,
No, that's what I'm wondering.
I've never seen that before. This is still spiking to red. And it's staying on red.
I've never seen it go to red. It's always purple.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
Baseline.
Are you interfering with our equipment? And we did invite you to. Jason, you were thinking about grabbing your SLS. I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
You've changed that to red. See if you can change it back to purple.
Let's see. We've got our Ghost Tube SLS app. If there are any spirits here, please show yourself inside of this first cell. Do you mind if I hold this? As you've got your digital recorder.
That's awful. The door.
Yeah, the shadow. Hang on to that just for a second. I'll switch. Is there anybody inside of that cell who wishes to make their presence be known? Please show yourself now. Oh. I think it's just picking up the table. Any inmates here? It should be time for your meal here shortly. Before you are to be fed, however, please let us know that you're still inside of your cells and make a sound for us. Wow. Activity, Jason, was incredible.
I still don't understand why the tripwire is red.
I don't either. Whew. Well, that was some intense activity to start off. And I want to discuss some of those things there. Let's bring on Jamie, Ryan, and Sarah as well. We're going to add them to the stage. I'll ask you guys some questions here in just a minute. I want to start with that tripwire turning red. I mean, everyone saw our reaction in real time, and that was genuine. We had never seen it do that before. Jason, do you have any initial thoughts on what you think was happening there? We had just called out to the spirits to walk out, and not only did that tripwire turn color, but then the EMF shoots right back up too.
Yeah. Well, it's strange because normally how we set it up, it's one or two lights that changes colors, but because of how that door was set up, if something had gone through that, it could have triggered all those. Now, should all of them have changed to red? I don't know. Right. But that, I mean, it was possible in that scenario.
Yeah, the timing of it was certainly remarkable. Our skeptic, Jamie Ryan, any thoughts on that one, on that tripwire?
No, we've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, that isn't something.
And I've never seen them stay one color for a really long period of time, other than the purple, which is like at rest.
Right. Well, I have two comments on that. I guess the first one's a thought. When we went to, Sarah, when you and I went to the Hotel Coronado last year, and we stayed in the famous haunted room, the Kate Morgan room, I think it was, the tripwire did start to flicker towards the end of that investigation, I think as the battery was dying, but never did it just turn all the way like that. Now, I turned with further thought of what would cause that. I wrote the owners, and not the owners, the maker of this product, And I told him the situation that occurred and wanted to know whether or not this was a battery issue and something that could be explained, or whether it was paranormal. And this is from Jeff of NCPD, Ohio, the maker of that tripwire. Said, "Hi, Chad. When the batteries get low, all of the lights will turn a solid color, typically red. This was designed into the tripwire to alert you when the batteries need to be changed. Hope this helps, Jeff." So to me, the timing is still fairly remarkable. And it's interesting that you shutting it right back off and turning it back on didn't do it. I could make an argument for it being the batteries. It was so damn cold inside of that jail. It could easily have zapped those batteries.
Yeah. Well, and one of the theories is, the spirits or paranormal pulls energy from batteries or these other devices. So maybe that was enough energy that it pulled to trigger it to turn red.
I'm really interested to hear what viewers think about that. I really think a strong argument could be made either way. I think when it comes to us and trying to look at this scientifically, when there is a way to disprove it, that's where my mind goes. But the timing of the rest of the events was pretty outstanding too. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the rem-pod. Now, we just had that one brief little hit on the rem-pod. Jason, you had the thought to move it closer to the jail cell, thinking that maybe there was an inmate who simply couldn't reach it.
Yeah.
You put it down, there was a moment of pause, and then it goes off. And it wasn't just the temperature sensation. Something was out there touching it and stopped.
Yeah.
That to me was one of the more remarkable pieces of that first part of the investigation.
Yeah, and you combine that with the K2 activity where, like, when I went to show the spirit how to do that, it was like someone backed off because it went from, I think it was orangish flickering to down to green, like I'd gotten in the way of it. So the correlation with the K2 also makes it a little suspicious.
Jamie, any way to easily write that one off on the rem-pod?
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, that one's tricky. And with the EMF pumping through the area, so we have a comment from Creepsy on that. So that's an interesting one. There was a tower out behind the jail that we think was either a cell tower. I can't remember what Vinny told us it was, but could have triggered some EMF. However, I will say that it wasn't a constant flow on the K2. And as you and I have experimented with on our rem-pod Dr. Ghost Lab, that EMF can trigger it, but boy, it's going to light that thing up and it's going to do it constantly. So it's just plain interesting. We can't describe to you the eerie feeling inside of that jail. I heard what sounded like either steps up above us. I mean, it's all concrete, so you're not going to be hearing footsteps coming from through the floor, but it sounded like there was something up above us. And I tried to comment on there so maybe people could hear it. It was just creepy, the entire bit of that. And that was 30 minutes into our investigation, if that.
When I think at one point, the first cell on the right, I think you felt like you'd heard something.
I did.
I don't think we caught that, but you commented on it at the time.
Yeah, it's super creepy vibe. Well, as we move into part 2, we're actually going to go up to the second floor. There's an isolation chamber, and that is where we decide that I'm going to go into an Estes method. Mm-hmm. And unbeknownst to me, until I started editing, one of our viewers who was watching this commented that the spirits tend to not be very happy in that area, which certainly made me feel a little bit uneasy about what we're about to see. All right, let me get that teed up, and here we go.
So that's pointed.
That was probably me.
Okay, so
that music box is pointed back almost towards the camera. But not
K2 up so we can it's not pointed at me, so we actually have the door open, so it's pointed behind the door in an empty corner. So my shadow would not be influencing this at all.
Not so empty.
okay.
Now I'm moving back here behind the camera, and the sensor that plays music when there's motion is not picking me up. So whatever that was picking up is not me.
So Jason, why don't we plan on 10 minutes? You're welcome to take me out whenever.
Okay, 10 minutes.
Any spirits that are here, I welcome you going to come up and communicate with me through this box, and I'll be able to relay any message that you may have.
Now, it's important to know these are concrete floors, and that radiator that we
So
see
if
in
there's
the
anyone in
background
this
is
room with
definitely not
us, as
working.
Chad said, it was cold.
How long it is to wait?
Let's get started in that case. Can you tell us your name?
I mean, that part was not edited. That was as soon as we started. There was no delay cut out there. This happens numerous
If not your
times.
name, how many are in this room with us?
That one's loud.
That was speaking in another language.
That was a loud one too.
Is this someone that was held here waiting for a court date? Was this an employee of the jail?
Chad.
That you're talking to Chad right now. Chad's sitting in the chair.
That was weird. It was like
Can
a
you tell me
drama.
who just?
And I showed this
Chad's
one
name?
to show that there's literally nothing else inside of there. This was our
What's your name?
little bit brighter camera from our YouTube live stream.
Can you just tap his left shoulder to let him know that you're there?
Why, Chrissy? Why?
You can pull on his shirt. You can just tap it. Whatever you're able to do.
Now, I want everyone to note those tripwire lights are mostly red throughout. We've got that one on the front left that's flickering green, but most of them are staying red,
Is that someone in the room with us?
and that will
Just
change.
heard a noise. It sounded like it came from behind Chad. Heard it again. Is that someone in the room or is that Chad's chair?
And I'm not moving. Like
No,
that's
you're
part of
sitting
why I
pretty
showed
still.
the live stream footage where it's a little bit brighter. Like I am not moving at all. We did eat a lot of McDonald's on that trip.
Yes, we did. So we're really interested in just learning about you. If you have any sort of message, you know, we have ways to get that out to the world. Now's your chance
It almost sounded like there was
to make that known.
I didn't hear that during editing. Could have been you. That's the chair. That's the sound of the chair.
Yeah.
That
Are
was
you from Arizona? Who's ever in this room with us? Or are you from somewhere else?
See, now we're starting to see some flickering and a whole bunch there.
Please come talk to us. We just want to learn more about
She
you.
said Satan.
Satan?
It's weird that the background music got scary there too. It's almost like the editor put that in.
Planned it that way.
Yeah.
What are your intentions?
Might be a yellow card.
You
to
said
be
Chad's
honest.
name. It sounds like you may have just said Satan. What do you want to
This is-
do?
Man, I can't see. It's good
There
enunciation.
was more music. It spanned past several channels.
So we heard some music downstairs. Were you playing the music downstairs and upstairs?
See, look at the camera shake there.
That was set up
Did you
on a
notice
tripod.
that?
It shouldn't have done that.
Do you think you hit it?
It's possible.
We're going to move into the second segment.
Looks like they lost internet.
This was during the investigation.
So,
And then it went dead. It'll come back. Right around the time
Are you
of
back
sleep.
there?
yes, you're back.
So nothing happened while the feed was down. Chad didn't levitate, so you didn't miss that.
Well, dang it.
Well, we only have so much time here, so if someone's in this room with us,
Watch Sarah's.
No, he didn't. Sometimes.
well, we only have so much time. So if you
Yes.
want, yes, you want to communicate with us. What do you want to tell us?
Oh, I just felt like someone stepped right by me.
That tripwire too.
Is someone?
Are you moving? Are you moving?
No. 3 of the tripwire lights are changing. Is someone standing behind Chad right now?
It's
If
just
someone's behind Chad, please let us
a
know.
little funny. I mean, some of it could have just been Sarah getting used to that.
You
But
can touch that red light.
she's pretty good at this stuff.
You can make the green and yellow go to red. Or you can talk.
That
Sounds like there's someone in this room with us, but we only have so much time.
Yeah.
We've got another 5 minutes and we're gonna have to
See where it shows like kind of a,
Yeah.
Dude, I'm starting to feel disoriented. It feels like there's someone walking by me. I can feel. This is weird.
Is someone walking by Chad? Please let us know.
Jason, let's pause that just for a second here. The part there that I want to comment on is really multiple pieces coming together. The tripwire, the camera shaking, the seemingly now like that there's a voice coming through in the estates. That's what we look for. We look for multiple pieces coming there. It sounded like you could hear whatever the taps or the steps were in real time. Do you remember thinking anything about those?
Just that, couldn't tell what they were for sure. And with everything else going on, again, it's that correlation from independent instruments, independent things that shouldn't, be tied together that gets us curious.
And the sensation that I felt, I'm trying to think of how to describe this. If you're in a wave pool and you feel like you're just getting tossed around a little bit, or maybe you're in a boat with some waves, a very subtle version of that, where you feel as though you should be grounded, but it's just rocking you just a little bit. And there's no way that should have been happening. And I think that's why that came about. And I think that, the question that we have here, disoriented at the same time the camera was shaking. I think so. I think the way that it lined up, I didn't know, obviously, that the camera was shaking in time, but going back and looking at this, that's kind of weird to think about. There's nothing that should make that floor shake.
No, it's concrete. That is a solid building. That is built to last, through a war. So.
Yeah, it really is. All right, let's continue with the last part of our S-Day session.
Please tell us your name. You've said Chad's name. Please tell us your name. For some reason, I think that the spirits, whoever's here,
Johnny.
Your name's Johnny?
That's right. We got to talk about Johnny.
That was a police officer siren in the background. Your name's Johnny?
Get some more tripwire too again.
Were you a prisoner here?
Here come the police.
Were you held in this room?
I'm feeling cold. There's something cold by my hands.
I hate that so much.
Good job. If you're touching Chad's hands, thank you for doing that.
But again, look at that. It's going wild now. So the natural question, which one's causing which?
That's you, Johnny. Can you touch that red light on the chair so we know it was you?
There's no draft in there. It's not like it's.
You warned us. What did you warn Chad about?
It's 94, like it was being sung over multiple stations. Like 94.
I remember that. That was very bizarre.
Well, Johnny, if it was you or if it was someone else, thank you for interacting with us.
So as we end that component, let's bring back Jamie and Sarah. I'm really curious about your thoughts on that one. So it's a long essay session. So I wanted to include a lot of that there. Jamie, any thoughts on that? There sure were a lot of coincidences happening there towards the end.
Was this filmed before or after the first clip when you guys were downstairs?
After. So we saw these two in chronological order.
Okay, so downstairs you had all of the lights turn red and stay red and not flicker at all. And did you turn them off in between going upstairs? Or
typically we do. However, I can't recall. There wouldn't have been a whole lot of time, to be honest with you.
Oh,
because it was a live stream. As you two know, during the live stream, I try to move things along because I get worried about dead air. So I don't know if we turn them off. Typically we would, but I just don't recall.
I just noticed that it was flickering, but downstairs it was all red. So if Jeff's theory was that it was the batteries, then why would they start flickering? That's really the only thing I noticed that like my mind was stuck on.
Right. And I think at some point we can't argue it both ways. Right. And you make an excellent case of that there. Certainly the timing of it as well. I mean, there were times, again, I hate hey, it's cold in here. I hate it because until we get a FLIR, Jamie brought that up. Like, hey, you are starting to feel these cold sensations. You got to get a FLIR thermal. And we do. But until we have that, I really don't like it because I know I can't scientifically back that up. But at the same time, when that tripwire starts to go off and some of those names come across, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, afterwards, we didn't get this on camera. We talked to Vinny. So Vinny was our docent for the evening. He's also the name that got called out. If you recall in the intro where the spirit was saying Vinny, it was after him. But we asked Vinny about Johnny and number 94. Vinny told us that there was an inmate and even someone who worked in there who was named Johnny. Common name, could be coincidence. Didn't get a whole lot of other names that came through during that time. So that was certainly notable.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts from the
essays? So we didn't show it here, but when we were doing the essays with Chad, I just happened to be lined up so that I was showing in that mirror. You could probably see that image over Chad's, I think it was his left shoulder. If not, go back, after we post this, after this, this event, but you go back, you look at that, it could, you could confuse that for a shadow or a spirit.
Yes.
I think it was Robert that actually brought it up in like real time and said, is there something over Chad's shoulder? And I was able to look and see the window and realize, basically debunk it live.
Yes.
Whereas if, we're looking at it now, we might look at that and go, oh, is that a spirit? Is that a figure? And not ever know because, we obviously aren't there anymore. So one of the benefits of live streams, and we love to have people watch for those very reasons. So please join them in the future.
Such a great call out. You did such a great job of that. Sarah posted that comment at the same time. And like you said, the rest of that, you guys knocked it right out of the park. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3. Jamie, Sarah, anything else you guys want to add there? Okay, we'll go ahead and bump you off. We'll see you in just a second. And heading into the third component of our investigation, we moved just for the last few minutes of our live stream into the second floor, but just on the opposite side of the isolation tank, where someone named Kingsley Old, his lure is in one of those cell blocks. Now, Kingsley, as we'll see, I think at the beginning of the next clip here, he was someone that was a prisoner. He was accused of killing 2 small girls. Now, while he was in the jail, someone actually from across the building, just across in the courthouse, got up to the top floor, was able to shoot him through the window and killed him in that cell. His spirit and even the 2 girls that perhaps he killed or was accused of killing are thought to haunt that area. Now, they do have a mannequin like representing him. You'll see it. It's
a weird mannequin.
It's a weird mannequin.
just know that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and play this next clip. On a kind of inmate known as Kingsley Olds. Now, in 1911, Kingsley was brought here after thought of murdering and drowning 2 girls in a local river. He was tried next door, brought back here, and before he could serve out his sentence, was murdered. Someone next door in the courthouse climbed up to the top floor and shot him through a window here, through his jail cell, and murdered him right in his cell. Thoughts are that Kingsley is still thought to roam here, along with the 2 girls that he murdered are thought to be here, roaming just outside of his cell. I'm looking for Lulu and Myrtle. Can you guys come in and play a game with me? Oh, that light went to green again. Can you make some of the other lights change color too? Lulu, is that you? Myrtle? Oh, there we go. That's great that it changed to green. Can you make it change another color? Yeah, if you go up and touch it and play with those lights, you can make them change all sorts of colors. Can you try changing the color again? Again, Lulu and Myrtle, are you in here? I tell you what, downstairs we have a teddy bear that you could play with, but I really want to make sure that you're here before I go get it. So on the count of 3, I want you to change one of the colors. Wait till the count of 3, please. You're doing great. But let me just have you wait until we get to 3. And on the count of 3, if you do it, then I'll go get the teddy bear. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now. You guys missed your, well, that's pretty close. It did change, but it wasn't on the count of 3, but I appreciate it. Can we try again? I'll count to 3 again. Oh, there you go. Okay, how about this one? Can you see this light right here, the one that I'm pointing to? Let's do just this one, okay? So Lulu and Myrtle, let me have you guys come on in. And then we're really gonna show off. So on the count of 3, you're gonna make that one change whatever your favorite color is. I want you to show me your favorite color. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. You changed that one green, but you got the wrong one. Can you go to the left? I want you to do the other one. How about this? I know it can go to green, but I'd love for you to show me your favorite color. So, don't put it in just yet. My friend Jason here's got a teddy bear, and he's gonna let you play with it, but I want you to show me your favorite color by changing those lights. Can you show me your favorite color right now? Do you want me to count down again? How about we'll go 3, 2, 1 this time. 3, 2, 1.
Show me.
Mannequin is super creepy.
Yeah.
Some more possible tripwire activity, a little bit difficult because, again, we only had one piece of equipment. We tend to like to have several, but we just didn't have it there. And that was getting towards the end of that live stream too.
Yep.
Any feelings or anything that you had inside that jail cell of old Kingsley Old?
I mean, it was creepy because the mannequin was creepy, but they also had a figure of a little girl kind of in the corner. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
I think the whole scenario just made it creepy. I don't know if there was as much activity as in any of the tanks, but it definitely was creepy.
And for me as a whole, so I'll kind of take a step back and speak broadly about this. It tends to be that when there's a particular story about an individual that we don't have really good paranormal evidence for, that we don't seem to get as much activity in those instances. It almost seems like the legend is the thing that carries it more so than the activity. Yeah. Okay, so that is the end of the clip, but we're just getting started here on this paranormal experience. Next, we're going to jump into our diagnosis of the place. So let's bring the queens back on stage here, and we're definitely going to want to hear from them. And let's get them unmuted. And here they are. While we are getting them going, Jason, I want you to think about this place, everything that we experienced up to what we've shown the people so far. Now, while we pad for Jason here for a second, something I forgot to tell you, this is only part one of 2 parts that we are going to do on the 1910 Gila Jail. We still have an entire post-investigation to go, and that evidence, I am certain, is going to blow your mind, even more so than what we've seen so far. Jason, diagnosis of the 1910 Gila Jail.
There was definitely more activity than there was at Tombstone. So definitely more activity there. Chad kind of foreshadowed it, but we did an investigation after that live stream, and the evidence is pretty amazing for activity there. So I would say haunted.
If I didn't have a day job, I would have this evidence out for you guys for another video tomorrow. But fortunately, that's going to be the place.
You don't want to miss that. There's some great evidence, and it's not one piece of equipment. It's 4 all at once. So.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I jumped right over you saying it's haunted. Like that's a big deal. We had so many different pieces going off there that being in the moment, certainly notable. Before I give my thought, Jamie, let's jump to you. You didn't get a chance to be there, but of course, seeing it through the live stream and seeing the clips, what do you think?
Well, I still don't believe in ghosts, so I can't.
Not that you stayed on camera. We all know what's going to happen when the camera shuts off.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You guys were saying that it was really creepy, but I mean, a lot of places are really creepy, so I can't say that means it's haunted. It just means that it's abandoned, and
But Jamie, I had a light that flickered. That doesn't do it for you?
No, that's not enough.
All right. Well, let's Sarah, what are your thoughts on the place? You've had to listen, guys, at Peek Behind the Curtain. Every time I capture something that I think is evidence, I go sprinting out of this office and run downstairs. Sarah, you're never going to guess what I just captured. So Sarah's had to listen to me talk about this for the last couple weeks as I've edited this video. Sarah, trying to be unbiased though, what do you think? Red card.
It's for the mannequin. I mean, so the mannequin's gonna have to sit the next one out, but
yeah,
it's on behalf of the comment section.
Yeah, the mannequins are tough. I don't particularly like it when paranormal places have those things set up. At least they warned us about it, so I'm not going to fault Vinny or anyone else there for it. But yeah, certainly a red card there.
No, it's not the fault of the place. I'm just saying the mannequin itself needs to sit the next one out.
Fair enough. Sarah, haunted, not haunted, uncertain?
I don't know that it's haunted. I feel like the tripwire ran out of batteries.
It could be. Yeah, very well could be the case. And as far as my thoughts on this go, trying to look at it analytically, taking the evidence that we have, my diagnosis, I will throw out everything with the tripwire. But the sounds that we heard in there, the rem-pod being touched, some of the things that came through on Estes, that place is haunted. And we'll show you guys why, hopefully in a week or two here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we tidy up this section of the show, we need to get to yellow cards. Sarah joked around with the mannequin red card. Last week we had one with Jason. Jamie, we have any yellow cards today?
No, I don't think so. I think you're safe for now.
Perfect. I like it. It always helps with me being the editor. If I find I screw up, just a snip, and you guys will never even see the light of day. Sarah, you're keeping track of how many. With that being said, how are we looking?
We have 2, and one of them was from Jason.
I'm getting better. I like that a lot.
Showing support.
Well, now that that's officially documented as only being one for me, with that being said, let's move on to some housekeeping items. Ladies, I'm going to remove you just for a second. We've got a whole lot to go over here, Jason. So first of all, let's thank our guests that have contributed to the show today. I mean, thank you to Arizona Paranormal Investigation Research Society.
Yep.
And really, let me see if I can pull up. Actually, I'll pull something up here in just a second. This group is really something that I wish every state had. So they have 4 or 5 different locations that you can go to their website. And if you want to rent out a private paranormal investigation, you can do it right from their website. And I love it. It's very, very easy to see. They're very transparent. There's no, texting people through back channels. It works out really well. And I love it. They've also tried to create a paranormal community. So they take groups that they trust and they enjoy, and they put it into a central location listed by state, which I really love that.
Yeah.
They also, and let me go ahead and add this to the stage as well. They sell paranormal equipment. That's not quite how I want it to look. Yeah, that looks even better. So all of the equipment that you can see up here on the screen, just go check out their store, ghosthuntersoutlet.com. They do have some motion detectors, which you guys will see on the next episode that we used. And they make some great stuff. Vinny takes a lot of pride in making that. And so we really like that.
Yep.
So we want to definitely thank them.
Yeah, and I must say, this was a very last second trip, and they made it easy for us. Coordinating logistics on these investigations can be challenging, but they made it very easy and straightforward. So if you want to go investigate Arizona, reach out to them.
Yeah, for certain. Arizona Pie, we definitely want to thank them as well. They are one of the Facebook groups that kind of showed us a lot about that area as well, and certainly for submitting their paranormal evidence that they had there too. Certainly want to thank them. All right, let's move on. We teased this at the beginning of the show. Jason, should we announce our next live stream?
I think we should.
Investigation. So one thing that we have, boy, it would sure be good in the show notes if I'd actually put the date and the time of what we're about to announce. But what I think we're going to announce here, our next live stream investigation for you to join with us is going to be Saturday, March 30th, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Now, out of all of our spring trips, we're only making a repeat appearance to one place, and it's to this one.
Yep.
We're going to go back to Petite Neat. That is the location. If you haven't seen our videos there, we truly believe it is the most haunted object in all of Utah. Jason, you and I came to the conclusion that we really feel that Purple Heart inside of Petite Neat either has an attachment or itself is haunted by George Melvin Close.
Yep.
This one is going to be very unique. You guys have a month ahead of time. We want to know how you want us to investigate. I just commented on a place with a known haunting and known legend. We figured this one out ourselves. Like, this one isn't being actively promoted. We want to know how we should investigate that Purple Heart. So please leave it in the comments below. Join us for that live stream. Go subscribe, turn on your notifications. We want everyone there to help us out with that. All right, Jamie and Sarah, do we have a winner for this mug? Let's go ahead and bring you guys back on stage.
Let me put it into the randomizer.
All right. It's a special feature. If you really ask nicely, we'll give you this exact one. I won't even wash it if that's your jam.
Oh, gosh.
It's Jennifer Nichols.
Excellent. Well, Jennifer, congratulations. We'll get this mug out to you first thing tomorrow. So thanks for commenting, and for everyone else who commented, keep them coming. But as we continue on, Jason, you got anything else for housekeeping? You mentioned something at the end.
I actually do. So despite having a great season, I know we were all disappointed the Lions didn't make the Super Bowl this year, but they did give us something to look forward to before the next season coming up this year. So because they beat the Broncos, Chad now has to wear
we made a wager.
Yeah, we made a wager.
I lost. This goes back to medical school of us making dumb wagers and embarrassing ourselves quite significantly.
And we have friend Ricky that upped the ante on this one. So thank you, Ricky. We'll all appreciate that. But so for one of our upcoming investigations, I don't know if we've announced it yet, but we get to pick an outfit that Chad has to wear when he goes into a solitary investigation for a half hour, I believe it was. So if you have any ideas for what that costume might be, what you'd want to see him in, let us know.
And Jason, what he's not telling you, he's hinting around. Humiliation is the name of his game. And that's why I don't care for this one bit. But a bet is a bet, and I will honor it.
I call it creativity. Some ideas that have been thrown around just to help get the juices going. King Triton would be one option. There's bunny outfits that Chad has worn before. So anything along those lines, please reach out to us.
I'm this close to muting you. All right. Well, let us know. A bet is a bet. Okay. We do still have some more things to show the people. So we had called for viewer submissions of paranormal activity. We still want those. For those of you who have your own channel, for those of you who investigate, for those of you who just have things at your home that you want to get our opinion on, we want those. Send them to us at drghosthunterslc@gmail.com or through any of the social media handles, and we may feature you. Now, this clip that we're going to feature next is from a local paranormal group, Spirits Are Us. Now, Spirits Are Us also happens to be some of the investigators who get us into petite meat. So we've been very thankful for them over the years. You can find them on Facebook, TikTok. They have full investigations out on YouTube. Please go make sure to check them out, but also thank them for submitting a clip onto our show. We really want to grow a community here.
Yep.
Okay. So this clip, pull it up here now. You ready?
Let's do it.
Am I ready? I don't know.
Who's asleep amidst the trees? Bats all the swaying in the breeze. But one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths.
You're getting better at it. But...
Enough.
What was what?
Green.
You keep saying you see something. What do you see?
Ben.
Do you see the light going up?
Some mirror. Are you looking into the video camera?
Can you see yourself in the camera?
What do you think? First thoughts?
It's hard to say without being there, but
it's pretty creepy stuff coming through the
creepy.
spirit box. So I asked them what type of spirit box that was. They said it was one called Spiritus. I don't think they made it, even though their Spirits Are Us. We're not familiar with that one. There's only two ways in my mind that this could go. The maker of the app puts those things in there to sound creepy.
Yeah.
Or that is super paranormal and some really creepy voices that came through.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know. Okay, as we wrap up here, Jason, we want to remind everyone, if you've enjoyed what we've done here, please go hit the like button right now. If you're not subscribed, which many of you aren't who are watching, I know because I look at the analytics, go subscribe. Turn on the notifications, and please join us for each and every one of our paranormal experiences. And, of course, for the next time that we do our paranormal investigations. And wow, this is fantastic. The comments are just flooding in for how I can make a fool of myself. I love it, though. I love it. And I will honor it. And I can tell you that the location is a fantastic one. We have not announced it yet. It will be in April. You guys are going to love it. And it's going to be creepy. Go check out our social medias as well. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. The TikTok is what the kids say. We're there as well. But certainly YouTube is our home base. Jason, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, let's bring on these queens. Ladies, any parting words?
I don't think so.
Dynamite as always. I love it. All right. We certainly appreciate everyone who has joined tonight. We hope that we'll be back with part 2 of the Gila Jail. I hope it will be next week. It'll determine on how much caffeine and how much I can edit, but we hope to see you all then.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. There's some great evidence there.
Ooh, baby. Sarah, I don't want to tell you anything, but just this area, I want to show you around and just tell me if you get a vibe at all. So Jason, I'll have you stay quiet. I'll stay quiet. And Sarah, I'm just going to show you around.
I mean, like asbestos?
But you have a platform and you're in a safe spot to chat with them. Oh, holy shit.
What?
There is something that's, you guys had to have heard that. It sounded like, what? Is that a cat?
It sounds like
That
a cat.
has to be. What? We're on the 2nd floor. Whew. Sorry, guys, an abrupt way to end that SJ session. If you guys heard that coming through, that absolutely terrified me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now.